Welcome back to a new video. So in this session, just worked up on some snatches and some clean jerks, but in the form of triples. So snatches went pretty well. I had kind of a ugly triple with 100 where the second rep wasn't really a make, it was a makey miss. And then missed 105 the first time I did it, but then was able to triple it on the second one. The reps were, it was odd because everything was feeling good until that kind of weird miss or makey miss with 100. And then the first 105 was just me losing focus and trying to really think about the second and third rep without being fully focused on the first one. But everything was moving pretty decent and everything was feeling pretty good overall with snatches. For clean and jerks, I was originally planning on doing 130 and the plan was to do a clean 3 front squats and a jerk. Since I did a 1 plus 5 plus 1 last week with 120, I thought 130 was a pretty reasonable jump, especially decreasing the 2 reps from the front squat. Once I did the 110, I'd loaded 130, that's why I had the green on the outside still. But as I was setting up, I was like, it's the top set that I'm going to do. I really should be able to do it as long as I do the jerk well enough, and I did well enough. It was a bit of a struggle with it. As you see, I had to walk it forward and stuff. And what I really noticed looking at it a couple times at this point, for the clean and the front squats, those were all fine. But the jerk, my weight shifted forward, or like my back rounded forward a little bit as I was dipping. So I think that's something, especially now that I'm doing some behind the neck jerks, that can be something that's trained unintentionally, kind of allowing the weight to shift forward, since that's going to happen in the behind the neck jerk, just from the balance of where the bar is on your back. So really trying to think of keeping my chest up, but not just up, but dipping it straight down the whole time. I think really the only reason I was able to make it was that my footwork, while it didn't look very pretty, I was able to get my feet out wide. So despite the bar being out in front, I was able to get my feet out wide enough so I was able to get enough height on the bar to save it. One thing I also adjusted a little bit was moving my hands out slightly, so when I finish the clean, or in this case the front squats, and I'm adjusting my hands, not catching it directly where the clean was or close to it, but intentionally trying to move my hands out a little bit just to make sure that I am putting my hands in as advantageous of a position as I can. That's similar to the behind the neck jerks. My thought behind that is the range of motion is obviously a little bit less with your hands out a little bit wider, but if my hands are in a more comfortable position when I'm doing a behind the neck jerk and they're just a little bit wider than where they were normally in the front, then that's probably where my highest mechanical efficiency is going to be to hold a weight over my head. And I think that also helped a little bit. And it's not dramatic. I mean, we're talking about maybe an inch or maybe 2 out. It feels really dramatic when you are going from where you were before and moving it out a little bit, but really the amount of total distance is pretty minimal, and not really, I mean, especially from the angle that I record in the shed, it's not really that noticeable when I make those adjustments, but was feeling good with them. It wasn't feeling uncomfortable or anything. I think the only difference was with 70, my front rack was a little less comfortable, but it's wasn't in an extreme way or anything. It's just something that I think, being as large as I am and just having enough upper body mass to make my mobility not as optimal as it could be. But you see there, like, it's okay. Like, I'm, it's not the best rep, but doing a 1 plus 3 plus 1 with 140, I'm certainly not gonna ever be disappointed with. And catching it in any sort of way is good, but obviously want to clean that technique up, and that's really kind of the focus. So whether I'm doing behind the neck jerks or in front, just trying to make sure my chest isn't rounding forward. It will kind of drift forward probably a little bit naturally just from my natural leverages, but if my elbows are drifting forward and my back is rounding a little bit, obviously that's going to throw all that energy forward. Ended the session here with some snatch pulls. So I did 1 regular pull and then 2 hang pulls. I think I'll keep kind of adding these in. I was originally going to do 5 sets of 3 of just regular snatch pulls, but I kind of like the hang pulls because it really allows me to feel the bar path, especially on the way down, to make sure that it's as close to my legs as possible. And I think it just makes the pulls a little bit more difficult versus just doing regular snatch pulls where you just drop it all the way to the ground, which for me, since pulls are super easy, it can't hurt to make a lighter pull like that just slightly more difficult. But the feeling of the where the pull is in relation to your legs the whole time is one thing that I kind of like with that. So I'll probably keep adding those in. Probably not for like the clean pull or deadlift thing that I usually do on Saturdays, but for the snatch pull sessions, probably will add them in. And I kind of want to do them again today, so I might just have back-to-back pulls. I think in the last video I mentioned how I was going to have one less pulling session this week since I did some more front squat volume, but those pulls felt good, and that's one advantage of my leverages is I can kind of just pull. I mean, I could almost do snatch pulls every day and clean pull. I almost could just do any kind of pulls every day and be fine. Obviously, once the intensity gets to a certain point, the fatigue starts to build in. But if I, do around 130 again, I'm sure it'll be fine, especially since Friday will be light and then Saturday will be a heavy day with that. But with that being said, that's going to be it for this one. I might go live before I train today. Depends how productive I am. But I suppose by the time this video is out, it'll be a couple days after that. But trying to take advantage of the last little bit of summer I have to, just do as much as I can online. Because during the school year, things get not necessarily more hectic, but just, becomes more difficult to be as consistent with everything outside of just, the regular videos. But anyhow, that's it for now. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.